What is up, mofos? JJ back here, Joey Work, and look at the surprise cameo this early from Holden Radio. Holden, it's quite early for you over there in Colorado, unless you're in a different time zone. I know you kind of get those time zones mixed up sometimes, so this is pretty early for you. How you feeling right now?
Joey, what's good morning? I was going to go say something horrible to you, but I actually meant it for JJ. Joey, good morning. You look handsome. Go fuck yourself, JJ. I thought we were supposed to go through this very quickly today. You know, you say, I'm backstage. You don't even know I'm there. He's like, he's the one that holds us up. Yeah, I am. So let's go. Let's just get into these games. Anything else you want to bullshit about, JJ?
No, but it's like a show inside joke that we have to keep telling you hold us back. It's just it's just how this show is going to continue to roll on. So don't expect that to change.
I'm fine with that, pal.
But yeah, we're ready to go. I know yesterday, so I dropped a few of the team totals yesterday, but hoping with the crew back today, we could slide right out. So hoping to bounce back. But without further ado, Holden, get us going.
All right, let's do this in chronological order. Also, Orioles, Blue Jays today. Wow, wind's blowing kind of in a little bit into the side at 20 miles an hour, 15 to 20 miles an hour. So just know that going into this game. Jays minus 225 in the money line. Why bother? The Orioles, if you think they could pull the upset, at plus 180. I actually see them at plus 220. And then as far as the total goes, 10.5. I guess a lot of people will be targeting Toronto. JJ, let's do it. Orioles, Blue Jays.
Yeah, so kind of like I said yesterday, and I know that it ended up being like an egg on my face. I didn't want to bet the game by any means because total's 10.5, which is about as big a total you'll see at this park. Wind's blowing in as well today. I don't think it was blowing in yesterday. Not that matters all that much with the pop on both sides, but yeah, I mean, you're paying. You want to bet the Jays today? You're paying an extra tax, that's for sure. Because Stripling should never be this big of a favorite. Kind of like the Dinelson Lamet take yesterday, where he was 270 and he should never be 270. Stripling should never be 220. I don't care what team he's playing. But this is the inherent tax you're paying on the Blue Jays right now with how well they're hitting, and they've had some big wins here against the Orioles in this series and huge run outputs. But all in all, it's all heavily taxed. So if anything, yes, there's value on Baltimore. But that is not a team I want to step in front of or step in front with going up against the Jays. It's going to be an off spot for me.
Joey Work.
Yeah, I'm off this one as well. Jorge Lopez, I do like his stuff. He has velocity on his fastball, throws in the high 90s, sometimes hits triple figures. He is coming off a really good start versus the Astros, but he's had trouble this year putting together back-to-back good starts. Obviously, he's on the road here in this small ballpark, but the wind is a factor, as you mentioned. But Stripling's pitched good. He's given up a home run each of his last 3 starts. He should fare well against his Baltimore team. But again, I only have a lean towards the Blue Jays. And as we've seen their bullpen below 1 game in the series already, I would probably just keep it to a first 5 and lay the half run. But ultimately, I'm off this game.
I know what you like in the Angels and the Rays. So let's get into this. The Angels, you can find a plus 139 on the money line now. It's the Rays minus 135. Patrick Sandoval, you're going to get at a lefty, you're going to get 5 innings, 2-3 runs given up. I mean, this is this guy's MO. Yarborough to the hill for the Rays. Total here is 7.5. Joey, I know you like the look in this game.
Yeah, so this is quite interesting to me. Obviously, the Angels are pretty good versus lefties. Top 10 slugging percentage, average, and on-base percentage. While the Rays are quite the opposite. Bottom 5 in those 3 categories. Same slugging percentage, batting average, and on-base percentage. Yarborough is a starter that I've continued to fade it and have pretty good success doing it. He always gives up runs, puts batters on base. Sometimes he works out of jams, other times he doesn't. I expect probably about 5-6 innings, 3 to 4 runs out of Yarborough. And Sandoval has, limited his exit velocity this year. Strikeout numbers are up. I think he gives up a run or 2. I mean, you were being generous saying giving up 3 runs here. The Rays team can't hit lefties for shit. And both these bullpens are basically rested. Angels used 3 guys out of the pen last night, but none of the top dogs. So I truly don't trust the Rays bullpen at all this year. So the official play for me is Angels money line. As Holden said, you get it about almost 140 right now.
JJ, since you wanted to hustle, do you have any thoughts on this game, or can we just move on to another one?
Yeah, just a quick point. I do think the Angels top 10 in terms of their hold guys are very underrated. Believe it or not, I have them as like a top 10 bullpen crew when they have a lead late. So if they could at least have a lead late or this be a close game late, I do really like the dog spot here on the Angels as well.
You like the dog spot. All right, so hit that one in the middle of the morning. Nationals, I guess that was the middle of the night, actually. Nationals, Marlins. You can get the Nats money line minus 120 is where I'm seeing it at a couple places now. Marlins plus 112. Great pitching matchup. Scherzer and Sandy Alcantara. The total here is 6.5. JJ, I'll just throw it out there. This is my play today. I like the under. It's a weird trend. I'm not a big trends guy, but 18 of the 21 series finales have gone under for the Nationals. Scherzer in that big ballpark. Alcantara has been on an absolute roll. The Marlins bullpen's been better the last 3 weeks. So that's good to see too. Under 6.5 is my play here. JJ, what do you got on this game?
So I'd argue there are very few, if any, outside of Jacob deGrom pitchers throwing better than Sandy Alcantara is right now. And he's pitching at home, where he throws better. Scherzer's always susceptible to a home run ball or two, but again, he plays a lightly slugging Marlins lineup. So while the total is low, and this is probably one of the lower totals you'll see, in most baseball games. I know it's a big park as well, but it makes sense though, Alton, right? I mean, Alcantara's been super good. However, he's just got to avoid Kyle Schwarber. Dude is absolutely swinging at a beach ball these days. Outside of that, though, Alcantara's been super good. You would expect when he does regress that it wouldn't be today specifically. Could happen, but you wouldn't think it would be today. And again, Scherzer gets the quiet Marlins lineup, so I like the spot.
All right, Joey, tell me why it's a shit play, and then I'll get to you with the Phillies Mets.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I don't really have a play on this game. Obviously, both really good starters in a pitcher's ballpark. Neither offense is really impressive to me. So I'm with your side.
Okay, Phillies Mets is the next game. Hector Neris. They used Neris yesterday. He blew another lead. Girardi doesn't even want to use the guy, but this Phillies bullpen finds new ways to blow it. The Mets bullpen has had some issues of their own. Phillies plus 108. Mets minus 112 is where I'm seeing it at actually one place. Wheeler Stroman, the pitching matchup. I love this pitching matchup here. So the question is, what do you think of this total, Joey Work, at 7.5?
Are they playing a doubleheader today or no?
They got the one game early. That's it. I don't think they're playing the doubleheader. No. And they're not even doing it for the what was it? The Mariners and the White Sox. They got that suspended game, but they are playing the second game today. That's the only double dip that I know of.
Copy. All right. I mean, obviously the Mets offense is getting healthy. Stroman did leave his last start after only pitching one inning, left hip soreness, so that somewhat is in question. But past that, he's pitched pretty good this year. He also pitched against the Phillies back on April 30th, 5 innings, 0 earned runs. Obviously, Zach Wheeler going against his ex-team. He has decent numbers versus – they have decent numbers versus him. 100 at-bats, 350, weighted on base percentage. I was going to make a point about the doubleheaders, but we'll mention that on the other doubleheader. I'm not really interested in this game at all. This is basically a toss-up to me. I guess if you – had to pick my poison, I would take the Phillies, but no official play.
JJ Stroman Wheeler, what do you got?
Yes, very slightly in Philly. Not a best bet by any means, but very slightly in Philly because I am not a Stroman guy. Again, when he's not getting his ground balls, he is a very average pitcher. And Philly's got enough pop to cause a little damage for him, and I like Wheeler. I've always liked him. So, yeah, slight value for me. And what I have is closer to a coin flip with value on Philly.
We got some wacky weather with the Yankees and Red Sox. The wind is blowing straight out 15 to 20 miles an hour today, straight out to center, 90 degrees. You got Garrett Cole on the mound against Eduardo Rodriguez. So, JJ, I actually want your take on the total first from this. It's sitting at 9. Obviously, what you think of Garrett Cole is going to matter. Yankees minus 143 on the money line, Sox plus 133. And you can find the total at 9. So what do you think of this total, Yankees, Red Sox, and that weather?
Yeah, I think if you're going to target it, I think you should just target the Red Sox team total specifically because if you like the game over, you have to assume the Yankees are likely to do their part here, whether it's 3 or 4 runs from them, maybe 5. But you'd figure they would do their part towards the over. The question mark becomes how well can Cole pitch in this spot. So, again, if you're somebody who wants to bet this game over, I personally would say bet the Red Sox team total over. And if you want to bet the game under, I would say bet the Red Sox team total under. And then don't let yourself get worried about whether the Yankees hit 3 home runs or 0 home runs today in terms of what they do versus Rodriguez, because like I said, I think this game goes over under based on how Cole pitches today. So that's how I would bet the game.
Joey, you hit your Red Sox play yesterday. You got them again?
I mean, the Yankees are on the verge of getting swept here in Boston, but obviously Garrett Cole, the bats definitely need to wake up. The whole series they've had very bad at bats, swinging outside the strike zone, expanding the zone, whatnot. I definitely think they score runs off Eduardo Rodriguez today. He's really struggled this year, enters the game in the ERA in the 6s. His advanced numbers almost as bad. And the Yankees have seen a lot of them, 186 plate appearances. They almost have a 500 slugging against. And Rodriguez has a 6.17 FIP against this team. So the Red Sox do have some good numbers versus Garrett Cole as well. And he's obviously struggled since they've limited the sticky stuff. He's allowed 6 homers in his last 4 starts in all of June, 11 runs in those starts. So I do think runs are scored here. 9, pretty short number considering Eduardo Rodriguez, his last couple starts, 5 runs, 4 runs, 6 runs, 3 runs, 6 runs, 4 runs, 5 runs, 4 runs. Those are his last 8 starts. So the guy's giving up runs, and the Yankees bats need to wake up. So I would think that they're going to press and score some runs here. The Yankees bullpen has been used a good amount as well. I know not yesterday, but the day before and the series before that. Plus they lost Zach Britton to an injury. Again, the guy always gets hurt. But and Adam Ottavino pitched for the Red Sox. He's pitched the last 3 days in a row, so he's not going to pitch today. So the Red Sox are missing him. Matt Barnes pitched. He didn't pitch yesterday because he pitched the previous 3 days in a row. So their bullpen is somewhat taxed, especially the important arms. So my lean is towards the over 9.
Is it a strong lean or just a lean?
It's strong.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah, you throw that weather in there, man. That's something else. You don't see that too often at Fenway. 90 degrees with 15 to 20 miles an hour blowing out. Hey, JJ, give a plug for the site, how people can sign up, and then we'll get to our next game, Braves Reds.
Yeah, sure. RumpYourBets.com. I believe it's Bets Fresh for 25%. Is that right? Or get bets?
Get bets. We're making up codes here.
Yeah, just make.
I'm just going on a whim. I'm just going on a whim. Bets Vaseline get you 25% off. RumpYourBets.com. We got Wimbledon this week, right, in tennis for the next 2 weeks. So it's a fun time to pop in because I'll have Wimbledon plays all week, or for the next 2 weeks, and then of course we just keep mowing down with baseball with Joey, and then Keg with the live shows on Saturdays and Sundays, and he's even been popping in with the NBA playoffs coming up. Spread Tyler cover it in NBA. So yeah, all around good stuff. And again, $15 for the week with that code. Get bets. It's not
bets fresh.
It's not. We'll just leave it at that.
Where did that code come from?
Back to you, Holden.
Reds and Braves. We got Molly going up against. I wonder what Joey thinks about the Atlanta side today. Plus 130. Not you, JJ, of course, but plus 133 for the Braves. I'm seeing. I mean, this is heavy favorites here for the Reds. Minus 144 with Molly on the mound. 9.5 is the total, and you got this kid, this left-hander, going up against the Cincinnati lineup that ain't too bad. Kyle Muller. Joey, do the Reds bats just get going here? Do they go bonkers?
Nope. I'm interested in backing Atlanta. Yep, Kyle Muller. Obviously, he's getting the start instead of Max Fried because he has a blister. But this will be his second big league start. He did take the loss in his first start, but it was against the Mets. He only gave up 1 run in 4 innings. So he pitched pretty damn good. He just got no run support. And he has pretty good numbers throughout his whole minor league career. And the Reds, again, not particularly great against lefties. What can we say about Tyler Mahaley? He's been really good all year, but he has struggled in the Great American Small Park. His 4 home starts, he gave up 4 runs versus Colorado, who's not the best of offensive juggernauts. 7 earned versus San Fran in 2 innings. 6 earned versus the Cubs in 5 innings, and then back on April 21st versus an Arizona team who can't freaking win a game on the road. He blanked them. So 4 starts on the road. He pitched at home, he pitched 1 good start. As of late, as I mentioned, he's been really good. And these 2 teams have not been scoring. 8 total runs game 1, 5 total runs game 2, 5 total runs game 3. Now game 4, they're hanging a 5.5 first 5. I have to fire on this, especially after seeing Cincinnati's lineup. Jesse Winker's out of it. Acuna should be back there, but so a slight lean towards the Braves as well. But I'm going to fire on this under first 5.5. That's via BetMGM minus 120.
I like the confidence. What were you laughing about there, JJ? What was so silly?
Great American Small Park comment, probably.
The small
I thought
park.
you were laughing at Mahali, but that's fine. You like the Great America Small Park. Okay. Yeah. What do you got on this one, JJ? You're just going to go completely opposite.
JJ's a walking banner today.
Look at me. Look at this. This is where I go. I mean, you want to talk about looking like a cuck. I mean, this is how I walk around.
Looking like a cuck. Speaking of which, yeah, go on.
No take on this game, but I like Joey's angles.
Okay, very good. You like the take? We'll move on. Astros Tigers. What you were on this yesterday, JJ? You got actually I saw it in the Discord, the live to hit the Astros, and they came back and they won that damn game. The Tigers give them a little bit of trouble, don't they? Astros minus 166 on the money line. Tigers plus 160. Total here is 9.5 today in an Astros game. Odorizzi and Skubal pitched better since that awful start he got off to. I'm not an Odorizzi guy at this stage in his career. Maybe he could turn it around, but JJ, Astros, Tigers.
Yeah, so I kind of pigeonholed myself yesterday, and I said on the live show that if I didn't see a lineup for the Tigers by the time the live show was going on, I was going to bet game 1 over the 2.5 number. But then I see the lineup, and I saw that they sat a bunch of guys at the back of their lineup for game 1. So I assumed those guys would be in game 2, and they were. Of course, such is life. The Tigers only have a few hits in game 1, but one of them was a 2-run shot. They go over the 2.5. They have more hits in game 2. Doesn't matter. They don't go over 2.5. They land right on 2. But again, such is life. I do think this team is hitting, though. However, this goes back to the way the sliding scale works. The Tigers team total today is 4, which isn't exactly all that great. Considering Odorizzi's surface might be bad, but his advanced stuff's not too bad up against the surface. So all in all, and again, I look at this Tigers lineup again, and there's a bunch of guys sitting. So with that said, they'll probably score 13 runs today. But no, I'm off this game entirely. And again, the Astros aren't hitting. So
Joey Works, what do you got?
My brother just sent me a photo. He's plays Sunday, wood bat baseball. Guess who's in the lineup against him? It goes by the name of the Todd father, batting fourth. Todd Frazier playing against a batting fourth.
God, this is what Todd Frazier's life's come to.
He just helped the U.S. qualify for the Olympics.
Yeah, I know.
He played for the Pirates. He got in a fight with a really fat sports talk show host, which I ended up getting into.
So did I.
And now he's playing some softball. This is
not
terrific.
Softball. It's wood bat baseball. He's playing men's league baseball. But
I would not play against him.
My brother never went. He played in college. That's where it ended. Now he's playing against these guys. That's pretty funny.
Could you imagine pitching? Like, if you get a liner back, you're dead.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's pretty funny. But,
Joey, JJ's rolling his eyes.
Sorry.
Like, come on, let's get out of here.
No. I'm rolling the eyes because, I mean, imagine making that step down in your career. What is he doing?
He's probably just getting some extra bats for fun. I mean, the guys are pretty good in the league, but, I mean, I wouldn't expect – they're probably not throwing 85 maybe. So he's going to have fun. He's going to have a field day. That's got to be fun. That's like playing with little kids. But, I mean, I'm not really interested in Houston at this price, -2 Bills. I do like Skubal, but as we know, Houston hits lefties pretty good. Tigers team hits Ordozzi pretty good too. 350 X weighted on base percentage and 130 at bats. But basically, I'm just off this game.
Okay. Next one, Rockies, Brewers. The Rocks plus 169 money line. Brewers minus 184. Why would you bother on the money line? The total here is 9. We've seen a little bit of offense between these two teams. I never liked the Rockies on the road. They just can't hit. Chichi Gonzalez, a.k.a. Chai Gonzalez. Every time I go against this guy, he ends up like giving up hard contact but not giving up runs. It's amazing. Gonzalez scares the hell out of me. Lauer is another guy, gives up a lot. The offenses are in a good spot here, Joey, but can you trust either one of these offenses against bad pitchers?
No. I absolutely have no interest in the Brewers at this price. This team hasn't hit in any of June. Okay, they won a couple games in a row now, but versus the Rockies team, whose offense, as we mentioned, outside of Coors is abominable. And they're 2-1 favorites with Eric Lauer on the hill. That's literally like laughable. I looked at this and I was laughing. I mean, the Rockies have great numbers versus him as well. Chichi Gonzalez, he's a question mark because as bad as the Brewers' offense is big, I do think they score a couple runs off of him. And the Rockies' bullpen has been atrocious. But with that said, I can't take an over with these two teams either. So I'm off this game. The lean would be towards the dog.
JJ.
Rockies have led late 2 games in a row, 4 runs the game before yesterday, a few runs late yesterday specifically. There's just no lead you feel safe with this Rockies team on the road and this bullpen. The price is high for a guy like Lauer, and I wouldn't lay it, but I also can't jump on this Rockies team. If you're going to jump on them, at least do it for the first 5 because at least they've looked live their first 5 these first few games. Their bullpen's just been absolutely atrocious. And the Brewers have been winning a bunch in a row late. So if we're talking momentum, it's much further on the Brewers side. But either way, stay off spot for me.
What do you think about maybe the Rockies get off to a quick lead? You can get the Milwaukee at plus money. I don't know. Maybe just bet that minus 1.5 before the game then, right?
You could. I mean, again, with the way these games have been scripting, but Chi-Chi's not exactly a great pitcher either. But again, the ways they've been scripting, the Rockies have been coming out well, but will that stop? And again, there've been a lot of Trevor Story specifically. Story, I think, has 3 home runs in the last 2 games, and he's been a big part of their success. And now he draws Lauer, so you'd expect him to have another decent day. But I'm not a big try to predict game scripts mid-game and then live bet when I hit my scripts. You could lay the run and have with the Brewers, but to me, it's too fat a price for Lauer.
Okay, we've got I know you guys were talking about the Twins and the Indians earlier today. It's a game that I was looking at, just the total over. But I want to get your thoughts on this because I'm the Indians lineup, or the Twins lineup, I should say. What do you guys see here? Is Cruz in there? I've only looked at it 3 Cruz is in there. Polanco, Donaldson, Cruz, Larnach, Jeffers, Sano, Arise, who's been hitting well. Bottom of the order, not terrific. Going up against the lefty Sam Hentges. People like targeting J-Hap on the mound. Plus 133 Indians, minus 144 Twins. Total is 10. JJ, what do you think about the total, team total, anything total on this one?
Yeah, so first of all, this is a massive number for this park. 10 is basically as big a number you'll see over here in Minnesota. However, I think that J-Hap's not getting enough love in this spot, which is actually creating a correlated market where the Twins team total is not as high as I think it should be. So Hentges, the lefty, has not had too much success this season. Now, he pitched good last start against Pittsburgh, but, take it with a grain of salt. Now he draws a Minnesota lineup, which to me is almost fully healthy. I know they're still missing a guy or two, but for the most part, from the right side, they're basically there except for Buxton. It makes sense that they get to him in this spot. Now they'll probably put a little pressure on him. Problem when you bet Twins team totals is you're pretty reliant on there being a home run ball or two. But I do like that a ball to leave the yard today, or at least 1 or 2. And again, they should put a ton of pressure on this kid. And the Indians bullpen, again, like I've said before, isn't really that good this year. And he's certainly not an innings eater either. Twins have been hitting well coming in. So all in all, I only did it for a half unit because, first of all, I don't like betting large team totals with home teams, with favorites. So I only did this for a half U, but Twins team total over 4.5, got that minus 130 at BetMGM.
Good morning, chat. What's up, everybody? Haven't really had time to say hello. Jefferson C dropping the versus left-hander knowledge here. Indians 219 against lefties. What do you think, Mr. Joey Work?
Yep, Indians are one of the worst teams versus lefties, so I tend to agree with JJ here. If there's a side, it would be Minnesota. Obviously, Cleveland on the road. I think they're scoring less than 2 runs first 5, 1.88, 4th least in all of baseball. With that said, I definitely can't really trust J.A. Hop, so I totally agree with JJ on the look is probably you just take the Minnesota's team total over because they're definitely going to get to Hentges. And as JJ mentioned, Cleveland's bullpen is not as good as it has been previously, so I agree with him here.
Half a unit on that, JJ?
Yeah.
All right. We got the veritable force, Max Kranick. Yes, Max Kranick is headed to the hill for the Pirates against the Cardinals today. Just looking at the minor league numbers, this year's K per 9 is just about one is a strikeout per inning. He's never really been a strikeout guy. I guess you'd say 2018 he had a year, but he's coming up. He's making his debut on one side. JJ, you've been looking at the Pirates offense here lately, and I think it's been paying off for you. Oviedo to the mound for St. Louis. So the Pirates plus 133 money line, 144, minus 144 for St. Louis. Total here is 9. What about the Pirates side?
Yeah, for me, it's right back to the wall. And I know that they kind of let down yesterday, but Oviedo has not been a great pitcher by any means. I know that his surface isn't bad at 4.62, but his advanced stuff, some of it touches like the sixes. And again, Pittsburgh's hitting. So yesterday, I know that they didn't get runners in. 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position isn't exactly going to cut the mustard. And Wainwright wiggled himself out of the few jams he was in. Cardinals also used their best bullpen. I've talked about their script when I gave out the play on Friday that they have 3 good pen arms on the back to hold leads. They had the small lead. Wainwright goes 6. They went right in order with those 3 guys. So all of them pitched yesterday. And then one of them actually pitched now 2 days in a row. So I wouldn't expect to see him at all in this spot. And Oviedo doesn't exactly eat innings either. I just think you're getting a team in Pittsburgh that's swinging their sticks well. I know that they didn't convert yesterday, but for me, I'm going right back to them. Totals 4. You can create this pending your book. FanDuel just has it at 4, minus 118. But again, at the right book like BetMGM, you could bet 3.5 and 4.5 to create yourself 4. But overall, yeah, that's one of my favorite bets for today. Pirates team total over 4 runs, minus 118 FanDuel.
Okay. By the way, just a little weather here. It's not awful. There's 50% chance of thunderstorms or rain during every single hour that this game's supposed to be played. 86 degrees, wind blowing out between 6 to 10 miles an hour, and 65% humidity. So it's not bad hitting conditions whatsoever. Joey Work, any thoughts on the Pirates and Cardinals?
Yeah, so obviously, as you mentioned, Kratnick making a major league debut. He did strike out almost 25% of batters in the minor leagues this year. He has a guy who's only started 7 games in AA and AAA combined. Every other start was in rookie ball or single A. With that being said, I do expect some nerves here for a start, but I cannot back Oviedo at this price either. He hasn't pitched past the 4th inning. Well, he's pitched past the 4th inning twice all year in 9 total starts. He continues to issue free passes. Strikeout numbers are not very high. And as JJ mentioned, his advanced stuff really bad. So the Cards bats have been, blank lately. So this is a pass spot for me. I'm not totally against going back to that Pirates team total over that JJ's been on playing in the series as well.
All right, so our next game, this is a really intriguing game with 2 shitty teams. Royals minus 108, Rangers money line, even money. 8.5 is the total, but it's the pitching matchup. You got Singer and Lyles. Joey, Jordan Lyles has not pitched poorly at home. On the DFS side is a guy that I love to target. The Royals lineup, not too scary. That ballpark factor, are you kidding me? It's like it's impossible to score runs there. We got to find out if the roof's open or not. That'll have a little bit of bearing. But any thoughts on this game? Because to me, Lyles could actually succeed today, and the Rangers could keep the Royals down under 3 or 4 runs.
I mean, if you want to put your money on Jordan Lyles in a pick 'em, good for you. I have no interest in it. I'm sorry. I don't care the park. I don't care where he's playing, home, away. In his backyard. I have no interest in backing Jordan Lyles. And Brady Singer, nothing really impressive either. Obviously, both these offenses very struggling to say the least. With that said, I have no play here. I have no interest in either of these guys.
JJ.
No take.
Well, why don't you give a take on our plan again so we can get more people to sign up? It's not Get Fresh, by the way. It's not Get Fresh.
That's for what's that food delivery service?
That's right.
Like Subway or something?
Subway, this guy says. Yeah, that's a fucking food delivery service.
Yeah.
I mean, you keep going.
Subway's in some hot water with that
tuna. Yeah.
What happened with the tuna?
There's no tuna in it.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they came
in tuna like Subway, anyways.
Food experts can't even figure out what it is.
Yeah. So in college, we used to go to fucking Subway, and I used to get that tuna sandwich all the time. Yeah. So me and my college roommates, they sent me the screenshot of no actual tuna in there.
Yeah, so who knows what the hell's growing inside of you right now, Joey? Yeah, right.
How do you make something taste like tuna? If it's not tuna, that's a girl. Anyways, what we got here, JJ? Give the talk about the site.
Yeah, rumpyourbets.com. Get bets. head over to the site. Again, Wimbledon this week. I'll be giving out tennis plays. I usually like to write an article Mondays and Tuesdays for tennis as well. You could jump in the Discord, ask questions on anything relative to that tournament. I know it's a big tournament. I know if you don't follow tennis, it might not be a big deal, but if you do follow tennis, it's some people think it's the biggest tournament of the year. But overall, we just keep it moving. Joey's gonna handle baseball, spread, Tyler, NBA, Keg and Joey with UFC. All in all, ton of content every week. And again, the Discord worth the price of admission. $15 with that code for the week. Give us a shot. Give us a try. Promise you won't be disappointed.
$15 a week. Try it for a week. Just try it. See how it goes. A couple young left-handers on the mound. A's Giants. By the way, what a fun game last night. I mean, the Giants pulling this thing out in the end. The A's taking a 4-2 lead. Giants just chipping away. They're for real at this point. This is a Giants offense that is absolutely for real. Again, two young left-handers, though. You got Long versus Irvin. It's plus 133 on the money line for the A's, minus 141 for the Gigantes. 8.5 is the total. JJ, A's, Giants in San Francisco.
No take here.
Joey Work.
Yeah, I'm not really interested in this game either. Obviously, both lefties. Cole Irvin's probably the better of the two lefties, but the Giants definitely hit lefties better than the A's. And the Giants team is not a team I want to stand in front of right now. They got 50 wins. You're saying, they somewhat are good. I mean, they got 50 wins. They got the most wins in baseball. I think we got to take them serious now. Obviously, the lineup is – I mean, I don't know who isn't. Who isn't? You?
I think a lot of the national media is still not – they're still saying, the Dodgers are so much better. The Padres are so much better. Dude, these guys are every bit as good right now.
Yeah, we definitely have to take them serious. Obviously, they don't have the big names or whatever in their lineup as the other teams, the Dodgers and Padres. But this team continues to produce, continues to score runs, continues to mash lefties, and they're getting good starts out of their starting rotation. So, I mean, I really want no part of this game because I do think the Giants score, but I think the Athletics score as well. But, I mean, it is what it is. I'm off this one.
All right, Diamondbacks, Padres. If it weren't for Jacob deGrom, we'd at least be talking about Yu Darvish being in the Cy Young mix in the National League. Almost halfway through the season. I mean, we're almost halfway through the season. This time next week, halfway through. Darvish and Gallen, the pitching matchup. I don't know what happened to Padres last night. Merrill Kelly shut them down. They finally broke that road losing streak, but they're plus 240 today against Darvish, minus 251 for the Padres. Why bother with the side there unless you're back in the D-backs? 7.5 the total. Joey Work. I got to think the Padres are bouncing back after that debacle last night.
Yeah, I agree. Yesterday I did have some interest in the Diamondbacks, but obviously with how many games they lost in a row, it was hard to bet on them. But obviously here, I mean, Darvish should have some success. Even last start, without the sticky stuff, he still struck out almost like 8 to 10 people. And I expect more of that here against this Arizona team, striking out a lot. It's looking like they're going to start moving pieces pretty soon. So I expect this team to start, bringing up young guns, and they'll probably lose a lot of games moving forward. But Zach Gallen has been good. Obviously, he's only started, I think, 3 games since coming back from the DL. But he's a guy who has limited, especially in the first 5, has limited a lot of runs. But I would lean under, but no official play here.
What do you think here, JJ?
This is actually my favorite bet of the weekend. Diamondbacks, team total over 2.5. Minus 105 DraftKings. I know it's not exactly all that fun of a bet to make, but hopefully I can do a little bit of convincing. So the Diamondbacks, like most teams in Major League Baseball, are a bit streaky, and they've been on the egregious side of the negative streak this season multiple times. However, look at them in this series. 13 hits or 16 hits game 1, 13 hits yesterday, just piling up opportunities to score. That doesn't even include their walks. I mean, with runners in scoring position, I think 2 games ago, they were like 7 for 20-something. I mean, they're just piling up opportunities to score runs. And now they draw Darvish, sure, but it's inherently in the line with why it's 2.5. To me, yeah, you would think Darvish probably does a good job mowing this team down, and I'm not saying he won't. However, this is a Diamondbacks team that is trying to find confidence anywhere it can. Right now, it has a decent amount of it coming into this 3rd game. I like them to continue hitting, creating opportunities. And the Padres bullpen is not something I think is all that excellent either. So if you think the Padres roll here, which they very well may, You're going to get their worse bullpen arms late. And all in all, I just think the Diamondbacks keep their sticks going. This team hasn't had much to cheer about this year. And to me, this would be a game where they're hitting well coming in. 2.5 is the total. Really like the spot.
All right, the next game, listen carefully too, because there's a pair of White Sox Mariners games. The first one is going to pick up from the third inning. Don't worry about that one. That's the early one. Game 2. This is interesting. Again, they're going 9 innings the first one. They already completed 3. Game 2 is a 7-inning game today for the White Sox and the Mariners. So just know that you know that. I mean, guys, the Mariners literally scrambling to find pitchers. They've dug down into AAA. They're going to call up a couple of guys here to try and make it work against Dallas Keuchel. 7-inning game, though. And I don't even see, I see one place with a total of 8.5. I guess I'll dig into the White Sox total at some point in time to see where that's at. A 7-inning game, though, 8.5. What do you think? They're going to be set at 5.5. 165 in a money line for the Mariners, minus 200 for the White Sox. JJ, this is interesting just because the Mariners are going to be throwing a bunch of junk out there.
Yeah, I think it's a really high variance game. And it's really why I just want no part of either side.
Okay. Joey Work.
Who's starting for Seattle?
That's the whole thing, TBD, because they're calling up these kids from AAA.
Okay. Yeah, so obviously that has some aspect on what we're going to do here, but I'm probably not really interested. So it's 0-0 through in the first game?
The first game, I'm not even messing with that.
Okay.
That's in the third inning. They got to burn another pitcher now.
Yeah, all right. So, I mean, I'm not really interested in game 1, but if you've been following these doubleheaders, the last 10 doubleheaders, the team that won game 1 has lost game 2 9 out of 10 times. So I have been following that and been making a good amount of money on it. Obviously, this is somewhat different because they're playing a 9-inning game. Game 1, they already played 3 innings. And Seattle, if obviously Keuchel's going for the White Sox, Seattle is the worst in baseball against lefties in almost all categories. So I really have no interest in them. And then for runs first 5, Seattle's in the White Sox score the most runs in the first 5 in all baseball this year, and Seattle's in the bottom 5. So if anything, it would be just lay the half run with Dallas Keuchel in the first 5 in that game. But otherwise, I really nothing here.
Cubs, Doyers, Alzolay, and Kershaw, Sunday night baseball. This is interesting because Dodger Stadium, no one wants to really mess with it, but when it's warm, the ball does fly in that big park. It's going to be 86 degrees, wind blowing out to center, 10 to 12 miles an hour today. Got a little bit of that. Cubs plus 179 money line. Dodgers right around minus 200. The total is 8. JJ, is there anything to this Sunday night baseball over thing anymore? Did that just go by the wayside? I don't want to mess with the Cubs team against Kershaw. So what do you got?
Yeah, it kind of regressed to the mean with overs on Sunday Night Baseball. Kind of as expected. You didn't expect overs to just come through every game. However, this spot for me, very, very, very slight lean over. At 8, if you need action in tonight's game, to me that would be my lean. I think the Dodgers have been hitting pretty decent over their recent stretch, and the Cubs have certainly enough righty bats to put some pressure on Kershaw, and if they get a long ball or two, that of course helps if the total's this low. As you said, hold it in warm weather in this park. This park turns from a pitcher's park to a semi-hitter's park. So overall, very slight lean 8. It won't be a bet I make, so I just want to be clear on that. But again, if you're looking for action, I do have slight value on over at 8.
Joey Work, Cubs, Dodgers, couple of good teams in the National League.
Yeah, I think the Cubs are overrated personally. Coming into this series, they scored over 2 runs, 1 out of the last 10 games coming into this series, and it was the last game. Now they come here. Obviously, they win game 1, lose game 2. Now we're here. I think, or maybe this might be game 4 of the series. I do think slight lean towards the over as well because I think they can get some runs off of Kershaw, but I'm not fully trusting them. They are decent versus lefties, have good numbers, BVP versus Kershaw as well. I think Alizé is definitely going to give up some runs. But, again, the Dodgers' offense has been stuttering, especially as of late as well. So I don't really trust the side. At definitely a minus 200. I have no interest in that. But that's where I'm at with this one.
All right, that's the games. We got through it in less than 45 minutes, boys. JJ's best bet, Diamondbacks team total over 2.5. You got a couple best bets there, Joey. Braves, Reds under 5.5 would be the numero uno.
First 5, yeah. But, I mean, they're both even. And Angels, money line.
Okay, and the Angels money line too. I got the Nats and the Marlins under 6.5. JJ, tell them one more time. Got Wimbledon getting underway, tons of baseball, NBA playoffs, and more.
And
thanks again, guys, for joining in. I know that we did the show a little earlier because Holden had to. So because Holden had to do this earlier, we all make adjustments. We're a family here. We only speak nice about one another, right, Holden?
So I hope your dad just says the worst thing about you today.
But no, truly, thank you for hanging out. We had actually much higher viewership than I expected for this early. But again, if you missed it, easily can fly back and watch it at the normal time at 12 o'clock. But again, next week we'll be right back on normal schedule at 12. Check us out, runpurebets.com, see what we're all about. Again, code GetBets for 25% off. It'll only be $15 for you for the first week, and you can do the month as well, however, whatever floats your boat. But if you sign up, we still notice a lot of people sign up and don't get in the Discord. Make sure you get in the Discord. There's a lot of helpful content there. You can reach out to us for questions you have on any games.
And anything with Joey Work. You can basically ask Joey Work anything. Hot sauce, MMA, ladies. Joey Work's an open book in the Discord.
That's right.
Yes, confirmed. But yes, overall, thank you everybody for watching. I wish you all the best of luck with all your bets. Gamble responsibly, stay safe, and everyone except for Holden,
JJ.
run pure.